Tell us more about the IAA. I have been volunteering for both the SOA and the CIA for 10 years, but that was the first opportunity I get to work with IAA. How did IAA become our profession's best kept secret?
And it was great. It was great that you were able to join us in Singapore. One of the great joys of Singapore, and we will come back to AI a little bit later, but the subject of AI brought us a whole group of additional volunteers who previously not touched the IAA. But the IAA exists to focus on three main areas. Firstly, it's important to recognize that the IAA is an association of associations. So the SOA is a member, the CIA is a member, the CAS is a member, the IFOA is a member. All of these associations are members of the IAA. Now, the IAA started well over 100 years ago. It started originally as individuals around the world wanted to get together and share ideas. And that's what they did. They shared ideas. They went to a conference that was arranged, and they pooled their thinking and shared the latest development in thinking around. Back then it was mortality, and it was mainly around life insurance. And that's how the IAA existed for many, many years, and it centered around an international congress that was held every 3 or 4 years. But more recently, about 30 years ago, 25 years ago, the different associations around the world realized that they needed to be able to come together and do things that they weren't able to do as individual associations. So they changed the nature of the IAA, so it became an association of associations with three main objectives. And those main objectives were, firstly, to engage with other supranational organizations. So the International Association of Insurance Supervisors, the International Organization of Pension Supervisors, the United Nations, the OECD, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund. All of these organizations, if they want to talk to actuaries, they haven't got
the IAA.
They can't talk to individual countries. They need to talk to a group of actuaries. So the IAA is the place that, for example, we can engage with the United Nations on climate change. If the United Nations...
I had no idea. That's amazing. Okay.
If they want to come to actuaries and say, what can you do to help us in climate change? They have to come to the IAA because there are too many other organizations out there. So that's a really important role that the IAA plays. And then the other two roles are firstly around looking after the future of the profession. So that means sharing best practice on professionalism and ethics, sharing best practice on education and how we develop the actuaries of the future, and then helping those associations around the world who are still developing, develop stronger standards, develop education, develop ways of ensuring that their actuaries meet the standards that's expected of a global actuarial professional body.